All right. I'd like to welcome Clint to the Atlanta Hawks. We're excited about adding him here at the deadline. We feel like he's going to be a really good fit for us. I think one of the things I said kind of repeatedly going into the deadline is we were looking to add to our young core, but maybe not 20-year-olds. And Clint, 25 is an old man. So we think that he's going to continue to grow with our young group in the future. And with that, we'll open it up for questions.
Welcome to Atlanta. What was your reaction when you first heard you were going to be joining the Hawks?
At first, it happened so fast. So I was a bunch of missed calls. I wasn't even on my phone. So whenever I saw, I was just, all right, let's go. Talked with the GM of the Rockets, with you too, the process, how it's going to happen. And then I didn't really have time to think. It was just, all right, tomorrow morning I got to go there, I got to do that. So this is how it kind of happened.
Clint, welcome as well. Have you had a chance to, of course you see Trae Young highlights and things like that, but seeing a guy like Trae Young, such a great ball handler, great passer, and you coming from Houston playing with a gentleman like James Harden, do you see any similarities in their game? And have you had a chance to really talk with Trae and see how you guys will be able to form a chemistry once you get on the court?
Yeah, definitely. So I've seen it. A tremendous scorer, passer, put a lot of rhythm on the offense, and it's definitely like definitely like the way I like to play. I'm a rim runner. I said pick and rolls, lobs, energy, rhythm. So it's definitely what we talk about it. About that, we definitely should be able to do some magic together.
Clint, in a way, do you feel lucky that you've, in your career, played with James, played with Trae, two of the better passers?
Yeah, passers, scorers, guys that pass the ball like that, the way they pass it, they see the court, and I feel really blessed to, definitely to be able to play with guys like that.
For Travis, you acquired Clint in a 4-team deal. I guess, what are the mechanics of a deal like that? Like, how hard is it to kind of get everyone on the same page and work out the exact, protections and specifics of that kind of deal?
Yeah, well, it might have been fast for Clint. It was not fast for us. It takes a long time to get that many teams together. It started off with really kind of 3 teams trying to figure out how to make all the money work, and then at the end we pulled in the 4th team to make all the mechanics work for the trade. So it gets complicated. Everybody has what they're trying to accomplish out of it. So that's why you don't see it often. I think there were 12 or 14 players traded the most since 2001 trade. So they're tough to pull off, but the 3 teams that we work with have very good front offices, so we're able to work cohesively together, and I think everybody kind of came away with what they're looking for.
Clint, just defensively, this team has obviously struggled on defense this season. What can you bring, what kind of value can you bring to help improve this team defensively?
Definitely my communication, my voice on defense, length at the rim, defensive rebound. I think it's definitely something that I'm good at and that I'm going to be able to add to this team. And pretty much.
Clint, how are you feeling physically, and what's the timeline for you to get back out on the court?
Yeah, so my body feels pretty good. Still have my heel bothering me. Probably my goal is to come back after All-Star, and until then, keep working on go lift, treatment on my heel, and stay ready conditioning-wise.
So Chelsea hasn't really had a chance to see Clint, but our first goal is to get him healthy. We're not going to rush him back out there. We want to make sure she's going to stay back from this trip and work with he and Scout. But our first goal is to get him healthy, and as soon as he's healthy and willing to go out there, we'll get him back out there. But we're not going to rush him. We're forcing him to get back out there quicker, just like we did with any of our guys.
Travis, I don't think it was a secret that you guys were trying to acquire a center before the deadline.
We got 3.
Why did you guys zero in on Clint as your main target?
We just, as he alluded to defensively, what he brings defensively, blocking almost 2 shots a game, grabbing 14 rebounds a game, his ability to switch on pick and rolls, to defend pick and rolls, and then offensively, what I really like most about Clint offensively is just how hard he runs. You guys are going to see that. He runs down the court every single time, and that puts pressure on the other team's defense. by him running hard to the rim every single time, obviously he's a threat to score, but that opens up the floor for shooters as well. And it takes a special person to run 100% down the floor every time, knowing that you might only get the ball 30 or 40% of the time. And that speaks a lot to the kind of player he is.
Clint, right here. How surprised were you that the Rockets would give up a player of your stature?
I just know that Houston always been a team that likes to make trade at the deadline. I've heard my name a couple times in the last few years, so I've kind of knew that it could happen. So when it happened, I was at first a little bit surprised, and I knew that it's kind of the business. This way it is, and Houston do a lot of it. It's been doing a lot of it during the past few years that I've been there. I knew that it was only me and James left on the team since I got there, so I was kind of ready for it.
This is a question for Travis. You mentioned adding the three centers, Clint and Dwayne, your two centers, with both very talented but very different skill sets. How do you see those skill sets fitting around Trae, Kevin, John, DeAndre Hunter?
Well, obviously we know how Dwayne fits with that group. We saw that for the last couple of years. I think what you're going to see is going to give Coach Pierce a lot of flexibility. Obviously, we feel like Clint and John are going to be able to play together. John's proven that he can space the floor. We've seen with John and Dwayne, with Dwayne's ability to space the floor. But with Dwayne's ability to space the floor, we'll also be able to see Dwayne and Clint out there together at times, which would give us, much more size inside. So I think it gives us a lot more flexibility on the kind of lineups we can play.
Clint, what are your thoughts on the city of Atlanta? Of course, coming from Houston, somewhere where the sports culture is very big, the entertainment culture is big as well. That's something that's very similar here in Atlanta. What are your thoughts on the city, and have you had the opportunity to actually get out and enjoy any of the city yet?
About the city, not yet. I know that I'm talking with the coach. It's a young group, young coach too. They're all trying to grow together. Young players, young core. They're all trying to learn out here. I can see, and there is definitely a huge difference between this roster and the Houston roster, which was way older. I felt more like a rookie in my 6 years there, and here I really feel like a vet.
For Travis, you kind of touched on the differences in Clint's and Dwayne's skill sets, one as a role man, one as kind of spacing the floor. Was that something you guys intentionally tried to target, getting some diversity of skills in the centers you acquired at the deadline? Was that an intentional focal point?
No, for sure. I think anytime you can add diversification and flexibility with your roster is a positive. Again, all the same things that you heard me say, like a broken record. Another huge part of it is character of people. As you sit here, and I'm just getting to know Clint as well. Extremely well-spoken, intelligent kid who plays really, really hard. So that tells you about his character there. Same with Dwayne, we know that from the past, and Scal. Scal's a little bit younger than these guys, but he's got a very intriguing skill set. Hasn't had the opportunity yet, but we like what his potential could be.
You touched on it a little bit about fitting in a little bit better here with a younger team. You felt like a rookie with Houston, and now you have, at 25 years old, you are kind of considered the veteran on the team. So what can you bring and help add to the team?
So definitely my experience, what I've been through with Houston, it's about 6 years. Definitely be more able to communicate more than whenever I was in Houston. Talk more, especially because this young group, they haven't really been on the court that much. They haven't had as much experience as I did. So I'm going to be really able to communicate more, and it's going to be different.
You can teach him how to put his phone down, apparently, too.
Clint, for you, the Hawks have obviously struggled this season. What are your goals as far as helping this franchise get things turned around and get on a winning path?
Yeah. So first of all, I'm really focused on getting healthy, getting back to play on the court, and get to know the guys also on the court and where we're playing. And from there, I'm gonna have a better picture.
All right.